Hey, welcome back.
Okay.
Yes, we are talking about virtual reality today.
Yeah,
like
and
what you just saw.
Yeah, and that was Indra doing somersaults
at the beach.
Yeah, at the beach at NUS, no less.
Yeah.
And then so that's Indra, and we have Fang here with us. The people who helped started NUS RidgeCats virtual community in Second Life.
Yes, that's right. And earlier today, I actually went out to Bishan to find out like what Singaporeans think about this concept of virtual reality. So let's take a look.
Smiley face.
Yeah.
What do you think of this kind of concept? Like you can live a second life sort of in a virtual world.
I think it's quite a good idea to learn about the real life through computers and all those things. But then there's also a disadvantage, which is you might not be able to differentiate real from virtual.
I think it's fun. You know, you get to be somebody else.
So what do you think is like maybe the dangers or the good or bad of, you know, virtual reality?
The good thing is you get to do something else, but the bad thing is, I don't know, cyberbullies all that.
Virtual reality is a good thing if you can shorten the distance between two very far apart person, but it's also something not so good because you have a great potential that it may lead other people astray because it gives people some sort of illusion that it's a second life, so they will like ignore their reality and live in the illusion more, so they may get addicted to it.
What do you think of this kind of concept, like being able to live another life in a virtual world?
I think it would be cool, yeah. You do stuff that you don't dare to do usually. It's a good idea, yeah.
Why do you think it's good?
Because it's like, because we have only one choice in our life in every decision, so it's good to try out with no harm.
To a certain extent, it may be a little delusional. It kind of gives some people the wrong impression of life. They might think if things go well for them in the virtual world, it might go well for them in the real world, but then doesn't, and then it gives them a weird idea of life.
I think it's too virtual. Yeah, as in like it makes people forget reality and maybe they get carried away.
For yourself, would you be willing to try it, or would you be interested to try it?
Not really.
Not really. Why not?
I guess I don't really like all these kind of games in the first place, and I prefer to stay in reality.
I think it's okay. It's neither good or bad. It's like just another world. It's not real, so it doesn't really matter.
I think if it's in a virtual world, then there will be no place for emotions, like, you know, love and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of boring in virtual life.
What do you think of this idea of like, you know, you can live like a different life from your real life in a virtual world?
I think it will be very cool because we get to experience different things that we usually don't experience. So it's a pretty good experience. No.
It will be good.
Why is it good?
It can be another person, not myself.
I think it's a good idea, but I think it's kind of a bit of wasting of time because you are creating your virtual life so perfect. But what about why don't you care about your real life instead?
What do you think? Would you think you'll try, or would you think you like this idea?
Okay, I might try, but I will not indulge too much time in it.
Why?
Because I have better things to do in real life.
Well, do you agree with all the things they said?
Indra's eyebrows all raised already. Like.
No, it's okay. I mean, I agree to some of them. I mean, it's true. I mean, you go inside Second Life. If you are really too indulgent in that and you really spend too much time on that, it's unhealthy. You see? But the fact that a lot of people think that, you know, by being in Second Life, you're actually forgetting your real life, is basically, it's a stereotyping. In a sense, it's generalizing. Because we are in Second Life and we are in Excos, meaning we even do duties inside. We station ourselves there so that we help newbies, but we don't really forget our real life. We don't forget our school, we don't forget our assignments, you know. We are in NUS, we are not even working. You know, there's a lot of assignments to do, but we don't forget that. So basically we just go into Second Life as a break away from our normal routine to de-stress, to talk to friends, to de-stress, to complain about your school or whatsoever, you know. But we don't really, you know, get too indulgent in it or too too focused on Second Life that we forget our real life. That's not true.
I think I just want to ask, because I think Amanda and I did a show just a couple of weeks ago on internet addiction, and then a lot of people do use the internet to sort of get away from their real life, especially if they are sort of the more, quiet and not very sociable types. And this is where they can find friends. But on the other hand, it gets very unhealthy, because then even though they are meeting new people, they are not meeting sort of real people,
there's no real
face-to-face interaction.
I think so far we are quite proud to say that our team actually met virtually before we formed in reality. So very much it's not a binary thing. Like if you just interact with people online, then you are just being a creep. Weirdo at home and staring at the computer, because it also depends on how you define interaction. Most people think that only online interaction are not like interaction, but only offline ones. But what is quality interaction really? And this kind of things that we do in Second Life, like the fun, we do the bungee and the weird aeroplanes that can ride like all of us and flying carpets and all, actually become like talking points when we meet in real life as well.
Okay.
So it actually brought you guys closer.
Yeah,
together.
actually, experience in Second Life.
But I think if you remember in the earlier segment, we talked about the couple who got married. It was very interesting because they sort of dated for what? 4 years on the internet, right? And then they got married. And then I can't remember if it was the guy or the woman, but one of them commented that now we can finally actually eat together, go for dinners together. So I mean, ultimately, it's still the real human interaction that matters, right?
Okay, the real human interaction, it does matter. Of course, it does. If you are like inside a marriage, you cannot be married and you are separated apart from because of the internet or something like that. But then the good thing about virtual reality is that you tend to fall for the person. If you are having an internet or online relationship, you tend to fall for the person for who they really are. Meaning in the sense that you interact with them and you're not like looking at their body, you're not looking at their physical self, and you basically talk to each other and interact more deeply in a sense, because you don't meet each other. So you talk through online and you talk through the virtual avatar, so-called, right? And you kind of connect on a different level, on a different set, not as in normally.
What if they're lying?
Okay, they can look different. They can make themselves.
Because for example, like the one that we had just now, the example, right? There are certain people who do that. They lie or something like that. But there are also a different set of group of people. Basically, they
who really
exchange
want
pictures.
To make friends.
Yes, they really want to make friends. They really want to have an online relationship, which turns out to be good for them, because at the end of the day, they get married in real life. You see? So there's a pros and cons to everything. Not say just virtual reality. To everything we do, there's pros and cons. And sometimes it's just good to look at the pros.
But I mean, if you want to put up a false front, you don't need virtual reality to do that. You can always have plastic surgery and
And I think just now you also mentioned before we come into the show how people are doing the same things on Facebook, Friendster, IRC, ICQ. They can pretend to be whoever they want.
It's the intrinsic thing of the internet, and whatever crooky things that you want to prevent in Second Life. Well, just as in real life, the best form of censorship is still self-censorship.
But are you guys sort of surprised that actually Amanda was saying there are a lot of people on the street she spoke to didn't know about Second Life?
Yeah, a lot more people that were featured than were featured in the clip.
But most of them had no clue, so they end up on the editing room floor.
Because I think people will be interested, but it's just that the problem about Second Life is a software whereby you need to have some experience behind it, or some people to teach you a bit here and there, or through tutorials. Otherwise, you wouldn't get into it, or you wouldn't even know about it unless there's good exposure or good advertising by Second Life company itself. You see, so I think it's just the lack of exposure, lack of advertising in that part. But if they are presented with the opportunity to take on or to learn about this, I think they will be good. I mean, people will want it, you see.
But I do think it's a bit less intuitive than, let's say, Sims, for example.
Yeah.
This one just put it in and I was like, wow, doing everything. And this one I was like,
Where am I?
What am I supposed to do?
That's the difference between Sims and Second Life. You see, because Sims, everything is created for you.
Mm.
You are going through a game, but Second Life, basically everything else you can create yourself.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
a
seems they make
co-build.
the situation for you. You have to go work.
Yes, exactly, yes.
Your kettle is boiling.
So actually, this is not like a game per se.
I mean,
right?
the
It's
challenge.
like
I mean, the challenging thing, and yet also the empowering thing is like an open-ended story. You know, so you will find like scratching your head sometimes. You know, how should I write this story? How should I go on? But if you have things in your head, this might be the most wonderful story. Rather than I give you a story with you in the blanks, and that's it.
Yeah.
This is what most games are for. But the good thing about that is that with this lower sophistication, you actually get that less confused, because what else to do but fill in the blanks? Yeah, but with this, you have a lot of things to do, but sometimes you just stare at the blank and so what could be the whole huge blank?
So do you think like this whole virtual reality experience actually benefits your real life in any way?
In a sense, for me, okay.
You
For
found
me,
the girl of your life.
no. I mean, it's very hard to find one so fast, but I mean, for me, what benefits me most is that, because when I'm going to NUS, and you know, I have a group of my friends, our own friends, but I want to make friends with new people, new groups of people, you know, but then I don't really have the opportunity to go out and like, hey, hi, how are you? I'm Indra, you know, it's very hard there. So this platform, actually, this Second Life, it helps me to get to know people, and in a very casual way, not formal and everything. We just log in, and suddenly people start talking to you, and you get to know more friends in very easy. This is an easier method, so called.
Building on Indra's point, right? I think human beings are quite funny. I mean, like if you like sit alone in a coffee shop and you see like people sitting alone like around you, you won't go and like say, "Hey, hi, what do you think what is the person trying to do, right? You're like, so we like intrinsically like create some bubble of protection around ourselves, but in Second Life, this is where what we try to achieve is we actually like burst that bubble, so we can actually like be closer, more personal with people we haven't met before, and form friendships and bridge the isolation between us. I mean, what are we when we are just a group of strangers in school sometimes, that you just feel that although there are a lot of people, but you know, why are they like not even talking to each other?
What about some of those people on the street say, you know, why would I want a Second Life? Real life is really tough enough.
Yeah.
Okay, as I've said just now earlier, right? I mean, it's a place for you to get away from your real life. Of course, real life is tough enough. I mean, I'm going through my real life. It's not as if I'm throwing my real life and going to Second Life all the way, you know. But the thing is, I'm still like putting Second Life as a point of de-stress, whereby I go there to enjoy and to talk and to make friends and to do whatever, like as in just playing games. I mean, it's just a free software. It's not even it's not even paid. We don't even need to pay for downloading the software itself. So it's just a game. It's just a place to interact with people. And of course, I have my real life. I have a lot of things to do also. So I just concentrate on my real life also.
How many hours do you all spend on Second Life?
Well, for me, on free days when I'm not going out with my friends, I can like 4 or 5 hours just talking, you know.
So wouldn't that time be better spent going out and meeting people?
Okay, you see, I do go out a lot. You see, and you go out, you spend money. You say you go to Starbucks, you go and eat and everything, and I eat a lot. You can see it. Yeah, because if you go out, you spend money, and you spend money traveling, spend money eating. But if you go inside Second Life, you can even still meet your friends and still
go
talk
to
about
a cafe or
and
a
go to
Starbucks.
cafe, Starbucks. Yes, there are. I mean, all those other stuff, and just talk. I mean, what are the point of going out? What is the point of going out? Is to meet your friends and to talk.
Yeah,
you can do the same.
But I guess perhaps you lose like that real face-to-face communication.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just up to the individual. I mean, to have that perfect balance or healthy balance.
I think it would be sort of fair to say that all this internet are sort of just tools for people to get to know each other, because ultimately people still want to meet the person they've been talking online to.
Yes,
But I think also that this interesting thing is that people think that internet is an alternate reality. It's that Second Life concept is a new thing. But I don't think so. I mean, I think in real life, all of us have different realities. We do live different lives, even as a person. I mean, who you are, the life you live, to your parents, to your family, to your colleagues, to your friends, to your schoolmates. They're all different. You have to deal with them differently, and you have to fulfill different set of obligations. So what is not attractive about one more of this reality, which is enabling you to be wherever you want to be, whoever you want to be, without the constraints of the mundane that you would have to face every day.
Okay.
I see.
Alright, Amanda is going to get more lessons on Second Life, and then after that, when we come back, we will show you some of the things
More
that you can do.
interesting stuff.
Yeah, other than flying into walls.
Yes.